Hello, today we're going to learn about writing linear equations. So please pay close attention because I'll be explaining step by step, and if you have any doubt, you can leave it in our comment areas, your doubts. Well, writing linear equations, the first thing you need to know is that we have the slope-intercept form. Okay, and the slope-intercept form, how you can remember it, is this one. Y equals mx plus b. We have a slope that is represented by the letter m, and we have a y-intercept that is represented by the b. And here I have a graph, and on this graph I'm gonna identify my slope and I'm gonna identify my y-intercept. The first thing I need to identify always is my y-intercept. So I'm gonna see in here that my y-intercept is a b, and always is an ordered pair that an x equals 0. That's why I have in here y-intercept equals 0, y. So if I place it on my graph, I can see it's up here. My y-intercept will always be on my y-axis, because if it is 0 on x, it will not move to the sides. That's why, how you can see in here, I circle the y-axis because my y-intercept will always be in my y-axis. It won't move from here. Now, how can I identify my slope? Well, my slope is the m. It's the letter that is next to the x. And the slope always has a change in y over a change in x. This means it has a move up and to the side or down and to the side. And when it moves up and to the side, this means our slope is positive. Why? Because my change in y is moving up and my change in x is moving to the right. Something really important is that our slope never moves to the left. It always moves to the right, just to the right. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. Let's see when does it move down? Well, it moves down when it's negative, but it always moves to the right. How you can see in here, when our slope is negative, we move down and to the right. So this is really important for you to know this basic stuff, where to place the y-intercept and how does the slope move, so you can identify in a graph and then write the linear equation, taking the information from the graph. So let's make some exercises. Well, on here I have an exercise where I have an ordered pair that tells me 0, -1, and the other ordered pair that tells me 3, -4. So I'm going to place these ordered pairs on the graph. First, I start placing my y-intercept. Always, how I tell you before, I start identifying which one is my y-intercept. And how you can remember, our y-intercept is 0, y. And our slope is the change in y over the change in x. How I can identify it? Well, I'm going to see in here. Which is my y-intercept? Well, it's the one that doesn't move. It's the one that is on the y-axis. So as you can see on here, the ordered pair that is on the y-axis is 0, -1. So that's why my y-intercept is 0, -1. But when I write the equation, I don't need to put it like this. So I'm gonna tell which is my b. Just my b is -1. Now, my slope. How I'm gonna take my slope? Well, my slope is the change in y over the change in x. And how do I take it? Well, I'm going to start counting on here how many times I move down. I'm going to start from my y-intercept. So my y-intercept is 0, 1. So I'm going to start moving on here, and I'm going to see 1, 2, and 3. I move 3 in my y. And how many I move on my x? Well, I'm going to count how many times I move in my x. 1, 2, 3. This means my change in y is 3 and my change in x is 3. But is positive or negative? How I'm going to identify this? How I tell you before, when you move up is positive and when you move down it's negative. So in this case we are moving down. So this means our slope is negative. Now, can I simplify this 3 over 3? Yes, because if I divide 3 over 3, I got 1. So this means my slope is negative 1. Now, how I'm going to write my linear equation? Because in here I'm not done. Well, I'm going to start substituting my values I already find on here. My y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to tell, okay, my m is the slope. My m is negative 1. So I'm going to change the m for the negative 1. And my y-intercept, my b, is negative 1. So I'm going to change my b by a negative 1. Okay, now that I change it, do I really need this positive sign on here? Well, I don't. So I'm going to take it away. And this will be my linear equation. Y equals negative 1 x minus 1. And this is my final answer. Y equals negative 1 x minus 1. As you can see, it's not so complicated. So what you need to do is be really careful on it so you can understand it real well. So we're going to do another example. Okay? On this example, well, we have two order pairs. We have 0, 1, and we have 4, 4. So, as in the other graph, we did it. We're going to start plotting our order pairs. 0, 1, and 4, 4. Now that I plot these 2 points, I'm going to cross the line, and I have this linear equation. But I need to identify which one is my y-intercept, and I need to identify which one is my slope. How I tell you before, always you need to start identifying your y-intercept. So I'm going to see, my y-intercept is b, but my y-intercept is always 0 in x. So which number on here, which of these two order pairs is the one that is 0 in x? How you can see is this one, 0, 1. This means my y-intercept is 0, 1. Now, but this is not my b. My b is just 1. Now with my slope. My slope is the change in y over the change in x. And I'm going to start counting how many times I move on y and how many times I move in x. So let's just start. 1, 2, 3. I move 3 times in y. And let's count how many times I move in x. 1, 2, 3, 4. This means my slope is 3 over 4. Now, does it move up or down? It moves up. This means if it moves up, it's a positive slope. Now, can I simplify it more? No, I cannot. So I'll leave it like this, and my slope is 3 over 4. Now, I need to write my linear equation. And if I already find my value for my y-intercept, that is 1, and for my slope, that is 3 over 4, what I need to do is just substitute the values. I'm going to substitute the value of m by 3 over 4, and the value of b by 1. So I have y equals 3/4 x plus 1. This means my final answer is y equals 3 over 4x plus 1. So let's make one more exercise so you can understand it much better. Okay, and here I have 0, -2 and -3, 1. I'm going to start placing my points 0, -2 and -3, 1. Okay. Again, identify my y-intercept and my slope. My y-intercept is 0, 2 because it's in the y-axis. Don't forget that our y-intercept is always in the y-axis and is 0 in x. So this means that if it's -2, my b is just -2. And my slope, well, is my change in y over the change in x. I'm going to start counting how many times I move in y. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I moved 3 times in y. And let's see how many times I move in x. Well, how you can remember, we cannot move to the left. So this means I move 0 times on x because I cannot move on x. So my slope is 3 over 0. And what does 3 over 0 is? Well, it's just 0. So we don't have a slope on here. So what I need to do on here is again substitute my values. Y equals mx plus b. I substitute my value of m by a 0 because it's the value I find for my slope, and my value for b as a -2. Now, how much is any number multiplied by 0? Is 0. So if I add 0 plus -2, this means I have just y equals -2. So this equation is a little bit different because it does not have a slope. So you have y equals -2, and this will be your final answer. Okay, so if you have any doubt, don't forget you can leave it out down, and thanks for watching.